Last time Ellie received a statement of comprehensive income and discovered something surprising. There wasn't just one profit, there were several. And today we're going to understand the first one, gross profit. So let's look at Ellie's accounts again. Notice that gross profit is calculated immediately after revenue and cost of sales, because gross profit only looks at one question. How much profit from making and selling cupcakes? So let's start with revenue. Okay, so last year her revenue was 120,000. But Ellie couldn't keep all of that money. She first had to pay for all of her cost of sales. And cost of sales includes all the direct costs of making the cupcakes. And for Ellie, that is things like the flour and butter and eggs and sugar. All of those are the direct costs of making cupcakes. And these costs increase every time she makes the cupcakes. This year, her cost of sales were £48,000. So now we can calculate her gross profit. So gross profit, so we're going to calculate her gross profit, is revenue take away cost of sales, and that equals your gross profit. So if you have a look over here, it's the revenue take away the cost of sales equals your gross profit. And that means after paying for all the ingredients that she needed to make her cupcakes, Ellie has £72,000 remaining. That's her gross profit. So revenue take away cost of sales equals her gross profit. But Ellie didn't actually make 72,000. She still has other bills to pay, like electricity and staff costs and things like that. So gross profit measures how efficiently, I'm going to write it down here, how efficiently a business turns sales into profit after paying direct costs. A high gross profit, there we go, suggests that the business is controlling production costs. Okay, and a low gross profit suggests that the business is not controlling production costs. So in other words, their direct costs are too high, or maybe they haven't charged enough on their sales. So if, for example, the cost of butter suddenly goes up, her cost of sales goes up, and then her gross profit will go down. If, for example, she's able to charge more, then her revenue goes up and her gross profit goes up. So the only thing that we're measuring here is the profit. Okay, so we're measuring the profit from the cupcake or cupcakes. So we're measuring the profit from the product or service, nothing else. So in the next lesson, Ellie is going to discover how making profitable cupcakes isn't enough. She still has to pay all of her everyday expenses, her operating expenses, and that's where operating profit comes in.